Hey everyone, I'm so happy you're here on my IGTV. I have some really great content today. I'm here with Birgit from Expat Business Club. And as you know, recently I got my permanent residency, which is super exciting. And I do have a full-time job in Germany, but I'm ready to start my side hustles. And I really need some help because, as you know, in Germany, there's tons of bureaucracy and I don't even know where to start. So I invited Birgit, who is an expat business expert, for a call today to go over some quick tips and what we need to know to get started to make a business finally in Germany. So you can introduce yourself now too.
Thank you for the intro and thank you for the invitation, Hannah. I'm Birgit Heidenreich. I'm the founder of the Expat Business Club, and I am an expert business consultant. I help my clients to get started in Germany as a freelancer or as a startup. Beginning with the business model, but also all the bureaucracy, strategic decisions, and grow your business last but not least. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm curious to hear the questions of Hannah, and I hope I can answer them all. And I think let's start with your questions.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah, so as I already said, I'm looking to start my business. I'm not going to reveal what it is, but it will be definitely a bit of freelancing and a bit of a commercial activity. So I'm really excited. But as you know, I do work 9 to 5, so there is some difficulties and I have to think of many different things. So what are the first steps into starting my business in Germany?
So in general, the first steps as an expat are that you should check your visa status. So regarding the permission, not every visa allows to become self-employed in Germany. So check out if you have already a visa that allows you that, or otherwise you will need to apply for it. And that's just the start. But when we talk about the business itself, I would recommend you to create a business model. And a business model is way more than just an idea. It's like, finding out what exactly you would like to offer, what kind of problem your service or your product is solving, and how does everything fit smoothly together. So not just the problem and the solution for it, but also what kind of target group you would like to attract. Do you need cooperation partners? What about the revenue model? What about the cost structure and all that? So this is part of the business model, and this is your foundation for your business start. And going from here, you can decide for the legal form. And regarding the legal form, then you can check all the legal requirements you have to fulfill as a self-employed person.
It's already scaring me.
Yeah, and it's just the first 3 steps. So but this is very important. So I try to explain it to you. When you start a business and you have your business model, so you know exactly what you would like to offer, and you know for whom you would like to offer, then you're able to decide for the right legal form. In Germany, the legal form is very serious. So I had clients, they were freelancers, and they couldn't catch a client because they chose for the wrong legal form. They choose the legal form which is easy to find and has less bureaucracy and less paperwork, which is fine. But they try to attract clients, for example, like huge companies, BMW, Allianz, Siemens, or others. And they have regulations, so probably they will not hire you as a freelancer, even if your qualification fits perfectly to their need. So that's the reason why I say it's so important that you know exactly all the details about your business model, because from there you can take wisely decisions.
And is this, for an example, my friend, she's a photographer, but she couldn't just register as a random freelancer. She had to register as a photographer, and she needed to have a photographer license as well. Is it kind of legality?
Also, yeah, but there are different things. So first of all, it's like just a business you would like to offer, and then the legal form. The legal form is just the official registration of your business. But then it comes to the business itself, regarding to the service you would like to offer. So for example, you would like to sell insurances. For that, you have to prove special qualifications that you will be allowed to sell insurances to other people. This is like security backup we have here in Germany for many things. So also handyman and things like that need to prove their qualification, that you as a client always can make sure or be sure that the service is really in the qualification you wish to become. Just imagine you go to a broker for insurances, but this person has no clue about insurance, but you get advice and you think the advice is correct because you trust in the knowledge. And then you get insurances you don't need. And in the case you have something and you would like to go back to the insurance and say, hey, now I have a problem, you need to back me up. And they say, hey, nice, but this is not covered through the policy you have. So that's the reason why in several business types, you have to prove the qualification as well. Or sometimes also the language. Imagine you go to a doctor and the doctor speaks only a language you don't understand. So how is it possible that you understand that this person would like to take off one of your teeth, for example? So that's the reason why there are special requirements you have to fulfill. And this is also part of the legal requirements, but also regarding to the business, some qualifications you have to prove in advance.
So sorry, just another comment on that one. As I'm an event manager, I have a certification in event management. So for instance, I wanted to, for example, open a side hustle doing event management, I would need to prove that I'm qualified as an event manager.
Not necessarily. No, in that case, no, because in that case, it's like I can decide as a client if I trust you. So probably I will ask you about the past events you have been organized, and maybe it's possible to reach out to one of your past clients to get a referral, to say, hey, was it good what she did? Did she know what she's doing? How was the event? Was it successful? Was it smoothly, or were there many things didn't go well? So this is something different. But regarding insurance is what I said, or if you would like to buy property, for example, that's a big investment, right? And also here you should talk to a person which has the qualification to guide you through the process and tell you all the things that are very important before you decide to buy something.
Okay, makes sense. Is there more first steps?
There are some more steps. So I also would recommend you to create a business plan and a liquidity plan. Maybe you will need it to apply for the right visa. But even if it's not required because you already have the right visa status, or you don't need to apply for a visa because you're from Europe or Switzerland, it's very helpful to create a business plan for yourself. It's like your roadmap, and it helps you to get clarity about the next steps. And also the liquidity plan, if you start full-time self-employed, it's very important to find out if you are already good to go, if you have enough savings, what are your planned expenses, how would you like to get money, and how long do you think it will take to get the first client to earn money. So this is also something that would make sense, that you prepare yourself, that you get clarity about the next steps. And when we have all that, then you're good to register the company. So you can register it. And also, if needed, you can get a trademark. So in your case, I think it could be helpful to register your trademark, because you would like to do personal branding, you would like to do marketing and things like that. So probably it's good to save the name, or a brand name that no one else can take it.
So is that the same as having a GmbH, or the small thing that goes after your business name?
No, the small thing after the business name, it's just a legal form, but the trademark just saves your brand. So in your case, your name will be probably your brand, and you can save it, so no one else will be allowed to use it. Because as long as you didn't save it as a brand, I could jump on the train and use your name, even if it's not mine. and I could benefit from all the marketing you did in advance. So it's very important for you to save it.
So there's so many things you already listed, but what's left on the list?
What's left on the list, when we have your trademark, it makes sense that we are talking about also a pitch. So explain what you're doing for clients or also for an investor or corporation partner, and find a short sentence that explains your service or your product in an easygoing way. So people really need to understand what you're doing and why they should cooperate with you, why they should listen to you, why they should become a client, or whatever is needed. So yeah, and also part of that is a complete marketing strategy. So we already talked about your business model, and in your case, it's like, yeah, that you would like to attract young people. They're watching TikTok videos, or they follow you on Instagram, or they are part of your group on Facebook or whatever. So they're using social media. So probably you will need to do marketing in these kind of channels, because you will reach out to your target group there. But what if your product or your service is for an older woman? So maybe you have to change it, and you need to do advertisement in a magazine for cooking, for example. So you can see it's very important that you have the business model, and this is your solid foundation. And from there, you can take all the decisions we were talking about. So always make sure that you have the business model, and then you can go from there, take all the decisions like the legal form, the legal requirements, a trademark, marketing strategy, a pitch, and so on. Yeah, and last but not least, also depending on your target group, you should learn something about the business culture and the negotiation. So I'm pretty sure that you realized in Germany, people do a small talk, maybe 5, maximum 10 minutes. And we are talking about the weather or soccer or something very, very general. But in other countries, it's absolutely necessary that you also ask private questions like the family, even if you have never met them. But it's required that you ask for it. And that you talk for maybe 20 to 30 minutes small talk before a meeting really starts. So this is something you should know. And also
the Germans would hate that.
we don't have time. It's always very structured, and we start directly. So 5 minutes small talk needs to be enough. So just kidding. But also, depending on the target group, maybe you need to differ here. So in my case, I work with many people from all over the world. So it always depends with whom I have an appointment with. I have to prepare more time, and I have to dedicate more time that we can have small talk in advance, because I would like to give my clients the feeling that they are welcome, and that I understand and respect their culture. So this is something I had to learn as I decided to work for Expats. These are the things you should have in mind before you get started. And I'm pretty sure you have more questions when it comes to the start.
Yes, so I know you did talk about documents and stuff that you have to bring when you're actually registering your business. So I know it's recommended to write a business plan or marketing plan and a business overview, but what are the important documents you need to bring to the handles or the Chamber of Commerce or the Finance Amt?
So they're not asking for documents in general. So what you have to do when you go to the Finanzamt, they ask for a form. It's a questionnaire tax form. They ask several questions.
I've looked at it already. It looks scary.
But it's not a big deal. We can do it together, so no worries. So first of all, they are asking about personal information about you as a person. And then they would like to have general information about the business itself. So the address and the contact details. I think that's not a big deal. And then they go deeper and say, hey.
And you can have your...
Sorry.
No, it's just a small question. Can you have your personal address as your business address?
You need to have it as if you don't have a rented office. So then you have to register your business on
Okay, that's fine.
on your address. Exactly. So that's what
Okay,
they are
that's
asking
fine.
for, because they would like to know if you will plan to start your business from home or if you have an office. And here you also need to differ. If you have a lot of clients, they will show up in your place. Maybe it's not allowed to do that at home. So this is something you have to clarify with your landlord. That's also something, just as a short example, imagine you live in a huge building with 100 apartments and 20 people here having a business, and every of the 20 will see 20 clients a day. And you would like to live there in quiet and peace. So that's not possible. That's the reason why you can register your business there, but just if you don't have that many clients, they visit you. So for example, you work from home as a freelancer, you do programming or something, no one cares if you registered a business there. But if it's like a hairdresser, it will probably be not allowed.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So, and then they ask several questions regarding the business. So the legal form you already chosen, when you really would like to start. So the start date of operation, the type of business formation, what exactly you're offering, and so on. And also what they ask is the planned revenue and the type of income you will have. So there are several taxes in Germany for different income types. And as soon as you become self-employed, they would like to know from where you will generate income and how much you think it will be, because from there they calculate if you have to pay something in advance. So that's a question they are asking, and it's important to try to be as accurate as possible, not because they will fine you if you're not accurate, but to protect yourself. If you think, hey, I will have revenue of 1 million because you dream of becoming rich, and you fill out that in the form, probably you will have to pay based on the 1 million you told them your payment tax. So, but if you say, hey, I think there's nothing, maybe it's just 500 bucks a month, and at the end you're lucky and you make more than 500 bucks a month because you make 5K or maybe 10K a month, but you don't do the payment in advance, they will come later on, and then it will be very expensive because you haven't paid something in advance, and then you have to pay the full amount in within 4 weeks. So that's the reason why I would recommend you to be as accurate as possible. Then they ask just some things about the bureaucracy. They ask, for example, of the type of bookkeeping you will have, if you will have employees, to make sure that you also pay the income tax for your employees. If you have partnerships, or if you are part of an association, because that also depends on the tax you have to pay. And then there is a very important question they ask, if you would like to go with the regulation of small business. That means on your invoices there is no VAT. Like always in life, there are pros and cons to decide for that regulation, or also probably not. But this is something you need to decide. And details about your tax status. For example, you're married, then it's also important to know if the income of your partner is mixed together with yours, or if it's separated regarding the tax. And what kind of goods or services you're offering, so they know if you would like to offer the service within Europe, for example, then you need another tax number. So all that bureaucracy and information they need to give you the right tax declaration forms, the right tax number, and that they know how they have to clarify your business regarding the tax. So that's all what they want to know,
Okay.
but they don't want to see a business plan or something like that. It's not mandatory to show them. You will need a business plan and, for example, also the letter of intent of mostly it's 3 clients when you have to apply for a visa. So there you have to have it, but not when you register at the Finanzamt.
Okay, that makes sense. And also then the Handels, is it Handelskammer? Yeah, in German, Handelskammer.
The industry
Handelskammer? Is that also is that something the Chamber of Commerce that you also have to do as well?
So the Chamber of Commerce is just necessary if you register a trade. So we have, it's called freie Berufe. It's sometimes it's translated to freelancing, but not every freelancer automatically is a freie Berufe. But if you are a freie Berufe, then you are not having a trade. So the trade is not regarding the legal form, it's regarding the service you're offering. So, and in case your service counts as trade, then you are mandatory member of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, so the Industrie- und Handelskammer. And then you have to pay a yearly amount to them that you are a member. And you can reach out to them. They answer some questions. They keep you posted about information, maybe changes regarding your business or something like that. That's what they do.
So, for example, if I wanted to sell courses online, would that be something you'd have to register at the Handelskammer or at the Chamber of Commerce?
So, if you offer courses, this might be a trade. Probably it will be a trade, and then you will get automatically registered. So you don't have to do that yourself, because you fill out the form at the Finanzamt, and then you go to the town hall, for example, and register the business, and they will register you or inform the Industrie- und Handelskammer that you registered a business, and they will reach out to you and tell you, hey Hannah, welcome, now you're a member of us, so please pay. That's what I do.
And how does the fees vary per year or per business?
It's per year, and you can reduce it in the first year if you can prove that your income is not that high. Then you can apply and reach out to them and say, hey, it's the first year, I don't earn that much, so is it possible to reduce the fee? And normally they will accept it. So that's something you can do.
Okay, great, good to know. So one of my last questions is the whole process of going to the Finanzamt and everything, and how long does it take to actually get your tax number in your hands?
That depends on the department. So I've heard of stories that it takes 3 months, but it also could be there within 1 week. It always depends how busy they are, and if you filled out the form correctly. Sometimes there are some questions left, but if you filled it out correctly, normally it should go smoothly and you should be able to start within the next weeks.
And for instance, are there people at the Finanzamt that speak English to help with expat businesses?
That also depends on department. So I think there are not so many people speaking English. So probably it's best to reach out to someone who could translate it for you, or to get it done with someone who does it. So for example, I help my clients to fill out the form, to explain them what they have to write down there, and then they can do it. Okay,
good to know.
Yeah.
So one of my other last questions is so as I'm working as a full-time with my full-time job, which I don't have any intentions to quit, I would like this as the side hustle.
Yeah.
So I know that I am paying, this is more of a tax question, but I am paying every month a lot in health insurance and pension insurance and employee insurance. When I start my side hustle, I also have to pay those again on that income.
So first of all, if you would like to do something as a side hustle, I would recommend you to inform your employer about that. Normally, there is no way that they don't agree, but you have to inform them that you plan to do so. And so what I know, the only thing that they could not allow it is your business is directly related to their business. So as an example, you were employed and you organize online events and summits, and you plan to start exactly the same as a side hustle. So that means a client reach out to you in the morning while you are employed, and you say, hey, that's cool, but hey, could you call me at 6 p.m. because then I have a special deal, I can do it cheaper. So that might be a reason why your employer says, hey, no, that doesn't work, because you will just take our clients, or probably you work during the paid time for your business. And that's something I think that's obvious why they don't accept. But you should inform them, and you also should get a permission. I would recommend you to get it in written form, just to make sure that you can prove it, that you that you informed them and that they agreed to it, and then you're safe. Regarding your question, in general, it's important when you calculate, for example, your hourly rate for your self-employment, that you have in mind that you already earn money as an employee. So this might affect the taxes you have to pay. So because then you have two different kind of income, and they always mingle it together and say, okay, this is the whole amount what she earns. So probably the tax will be higher than when you're just employed. So this is something you should know before you decide what hourly rate you would like to charge. And for the cost also, it depends. As long as it's a side hustle and you don't earn more from the side hustle than from your employment, normally you don't have to pay extra for it. But as soon as it becomes equal or higher, then definitely they will charge you, because it's always, they want to have the money, they want to have more. When we are talking about that, it's just a percentage, 10, 15, 20%, inform them so they know it, and they will tell you if you have to pay something. Because nothing is more annoying than you think it's all yours, and then 2 years later they say, okay, now we get some extra, and you don't have it, or you spend the money. That's very bad, right?
So for example, not saying this is my salary, but I'll just say an average salary in Hamburg. So an average salary in Hamburg is like 35,000 a year before tax, and you could maybe make in your side hustle like 10,000, 15,000. So you pay your health insurance and everything on that 35,000, but your health insurance won't come off of the 15,000.
Normally not, right? Exactly. But inform them, let them know how much it is, because they have the regulations, and they will let you know. And you always have to, so when you're self-employed and you are, for example, in the public insurance for health, then you have to show them your tax report. So you do the tax report in the upcoming year, in the following year, and then you get a confirmation from the Finanzamt, which says, okay, this is how much you earn, this is how much you have to pay for the taxes, and for the second tax, and for the church tax, if you pay church tax. And this paper, what you get from the tax department, you have to show them. So you have to make it public to your health insurance company, and from there they decide how much you have to pay. So in that case, as you become self-employed, inform them, let them know, and then they ask you every year for that paper, and then they make a calculation if you have to pay something extra or not.
That makes sense. And to payments and everything, especially when you're starting out as a freelancer, do you need a separate bank account for your freelancing activities?
If you ask me as a consultant, I would say I highly recommend it to you, but there's no rule that says you have to. So, but I think it makes sense to separate it, because then you're totally clear about your income and your expenses. It makes it easier to calculate. And also when it comes to hiring a tax accountant, it's way more easy and cheaper for you if this person does not have to figure out if this is expense now is private or is business related, because then they don't have to invest more time. And so it's also cheaper, and it's they have a better overview. And also, in case the tax department would like to see all the papers, it's easier for them and you don't have a hustle.
Okay, that makes sense. Great. So that was a lot of information, and I think we covered the basics. We're going to have a call later on because I'm doing a consultation session private with Birgit, and so I shall be covering all my topics, and we'll learn more about my planned business. But thank you so much for joining. It was really, really good, and I hope all you watching this also maybe thinking about starting your business in Germany or can get the ball rolling somehow, or contact Expat Business Club.